I got a very interesting question I want to start off with, and this is actually a very common question that we receive. Somebody asked me, am I going crazy, or is it a part of the awakening?" Sometimes it's a little hard to tell the difference, and the reason why some people feel this way is that when you're going through the awakening, let's call it a consciousness awakening or a spiritual awakening, many times things that you believed in no longer make sense. Many times the veil has been lifted and you're seeing the truth of our society. You're discovering things aren't exactly the way that you thought they were, or that you were always told that they were. And that can kind of create a little bit of a psychic or a psychological crack, or a little bit of a break from your regular, your regular way of looking at the world. As well, many of us start to have, for lack of a better term, psychic abilities. Suddenly we're having lucid dreaming. Suddenly we're having out-of-body experiences. Suddenly some people can see spirits or other dimensional entities. And that can be very jarring. That can be very jarring. We're very lucky that we're going through this process right now as a planet where, the blinders are being removed. Yes, it's very uncomfortable. We're seeing a lot of the corruption of our government, of corporations, of industry, of religion, of particular people that we thought might have been leaders of our communities. So all the ugliness is coming up to the surface, and that can also be very frustrating, angering, ugly, and drive you a little crazy. So it's a great question. Am I going crazy, or is it a part of the awakening? And the short answer is going crazy is a part of the awakening. I'm sorry, but it's true. We are going to be thrown for loops. Many people are thrown for a loop. And the secret for me is to remain grounded. Now, how do we remain grounded when we're having anxiety attacks over what we just learned, or we're feeling very angry? There are many steps that you can take, and I feel the most important one, and I say this a lot, and I'm actually going to talk more about it from another question that's coming up, is being very vigilant to what you expose your senses to. A lot of times we're going to be caught up by specific radio shows or presenters or news media that really engulf us and keep our attention, and it's important that you have control over how much attention you give to that stuff. A lot of it is fearful. Let's face it. Some of these conspiracy shows and conspiracy presenters, they thrive off fear and scaring people. Like, oh, the tanks are rolling down the street next week, or oh, there's the Illuminati is going to kill you, and they're going to depopulate, and the chemtrails are killing you, and the GMOs are killing you, and everybody's trying to kill you, when in reality, that's only a small aspect of the totality of our reality. So, yes, there are good things and there are bad things happening, but what are you giving your attention to? So, how do you not go crazy? Uh, One of the words I use a lot is discernment. Use discernment. Can you trust the information you're receiving? And also, be honest and be gentle with yourself. Can you handle it? Many times we're hearing stuff that we just can't handle. And that might be a chance for you just to step back a little bit. So, back to the question of, am I going crazy, or is it a part of the awakening? Shifting your reality can be a little scary. And what I say is just be gentle with yourself. No, you're not going crazy. How you respond to the new information, how you respond to the new abilities that you might be nurturing or becoming aware of, is the key of how not to go crazy.